You have your assessment video ibigay. Kasi later, you'll be preparing blood smears. And I'm sure, marunong na kayo gumawa ng smear. Be confident. Yes. Magawa na kayo ng smear. Tama? So, you'll be preparing a smear again. Take note. Our goal today is to count platelets, not to prepare smears. Part of counting platelets later is smear, pero ang goal natin is magbilang ng platelets. So, meaning, do not waste too much of your time just preparing smear. Am I clear with that? Okay, here, before we start, I would like us to bid on Joy a happy birthday. Happy birthday! Chocolate is our favorite. Okay, kidding aside. Sige. So for today, we're going to count platelets, and laboratory-wise, we have 3 ways of counting platelets. Okay, we have 3 ways of counting platelets. You can count platelets directly, indirectly, or with an automated machine. And obviously, among the 3 ways, which is the most convenient? With an automated machine. Tama? No questions asked. Diba? Parang it's a no-brainer. If you want to count platelets, definitely you would have an automated machine. That's why, in practice today, in all laboratories today, what we have is more of an automated machine. As an automated machine, if you go back with the principles of analyzers in CBC, for a machine to count a cell as a platelet, the volume needs to be about 2 to 20 femtoliters. Nakalala pa ba yan? Diba? If that volume falls anywhere between 2 to 20, automatic, your machine will count it as a platelet. So in an automated machine, all you need to do is just simply feed your blood onto that machine, and automatic, you can have your count. And they will identify cells only as platelets if the volume falls anywhere between these numbers. You get it? If you want to further count platelets, you can count it directly. And when you say direct platelet count, that is totally the same as counting red cells and white cells manually. The ones you had last semester in Hemo 1. Still recall hemocytometer? Naalala pa yung mga pipette? The way you have prepared your solutions for RBC and WBC counting manually will be the exact ways on how you will prepare solutions in counting your platelets directly. The only difference will lie on your diluting fluid. If I'm counting red cells, what should be the most ideal characteristic of my diluting fluid again? Why should it be isotonic? Bakit kailangan isotonic if I want to count red cells? To preserve red cells. Tama? If I will count white cells, what should I use? Hypotonic. Bakit kailangan hypotonic? Polarized RBCs. In platelet count, it's versatile. Pwede kang gumamit ng hypotonic, pwede kang gumamit ng isotonic, case to case. But directly, if you want to easily identify your platelets, you need to make use of certain stains. Nahirapan pa kayo magbilang ng RBCs last semester? Or maghanap ng red cells last sem? Hindi. Madali lang. Good for you then. Madali lang. But looking at those cells under the microscope I'm sure we can both agree na it's a challenge. Right? if you want to easily visualize those platelets and count them directly on your hemocytometer, your fluids need to have that state. What we commonly use for platelet counting is what we call as Riesenecker diluting fluid that contains citrate formaldehyde, which makes it isotonic, with brilliant cressyl blue. That's why under the microscope, on that hemocytometer, your platelets will appear shining blue because of this stain. If not Riesenecker fluid, pwede ka rin gumamit ng 1% ammonium oxalate as your diluting fluid for platelet counting. Other than that, everything will just be the same. Recall natin. Pakipasok na yung expert sa akin. Tama? Hindi pa. Sa lecture, hindi pa ako kumuha ng expert nyo. Hindi pa? Sige, Sabado na lang. Para, Sabado lecture nyo, di ba?
Hindi, sir.
Para meron akong ano. Okay, let's recall it. What is the heart of manual cell counting? Hemocytometer. And what we commonly use is an improved Neubauer chamber. Tama? On that Neubauer, how many counting chambers do we have? Dalawa. Yung isa sa taas, isa sa baba. How do you call the largest square in each chamber? Primary square. Tama? Primary square is divided into how many secondary squares? 9 secondary squares. How do you call the four corner secondary squares? WBC squares. Tama? How about the central secondary square? RBC square. The difference between the red cell and the white cell secondary squares lies onto the number of tertiary squares. White cell squares has how many tertiary squares? 16. After ng 16, meron ka bang maliliit sa loob? Wala na. Tama? So the four corners have 16 tertiary squares. At the center is your RBC containing how many tertiary squares? 25. And each of those 25 squares will further contain 16 smaller squares. Tama? If you want to count platelets, you can count it either on the 25 RBC tertiary squares, or you count 4 WBC secondary squares. Tingin nyo, sino mas madali? Counting them on 25 red cell squares or counting them on 4 WBC secondary squares?
WBC.
Tingin nyo, just looking at the figures. Drawing ko din natin. This is your primary square. Ilang secondary square will you meron?
9.
You have 9. The four corners are your WBC, and then this is your RBC. You have 25 here inside, tama? Then you have 16 in each WBC. So if I will count red cells, I will count the entire 25 squares. If I will count platelets rather on my red cell square, I will count the 25 squares. If I will count platelets on my WBCs, I will count 4 secondary squares. So which is more convenient?
RBC.
Bilangin nyo sa RBC, tama? Because when it comes to the area of the square is exactly similar to the area of the square, tama? Dahil bilangin mo ng buo, it will just be equal to 1 millimeter square. But if I will count platelets on 4 secondary squares, it will be equal to 4 millimeter square. You get it? So having said that, to compute for your platelet count directly, you still make use of the same formula for RBC and WBC counting. You still recall it? Yung formula sa pag-cell count? Hindi natin ito gagawin today. Gagawin natin is indirect. Pero on your quizzes and on your exams, this will definitely appear. Okay? What's that formula again?
Number of cells.
You have, directly, you have the number of cells multiplied by the dilution factor divided by the area factor multiplied by the depth. Among these numbers, which is constant. The depth, you can never change that, tama?
Yes.
The depth is the distance between your cover slip and your counting chamber, and it will always be
0.1
millimeter, tama? Number of cells, it depends. You can have the total number or the average number of cells. Dilution depends on your pipette, tama? Routinely, if I'm using a red cell pipette, most likely it's 200. If I'm using a white cell pipette, it's 20. But again, it's not always 200 nor 20. It depends on your dilution. If you're using 1% ammonium oxalate using this method, nakagamit kayo ng RTR sa immunocellular last sem. Nag-test kayo ng RTR. Rapid plasma raging. Hindi kayo nag-test for syphilis?
Ah.
Ayun na. Nakagamit kayo. May nasa bilog. Kasi iniikot nyo. Kinishake.
Ah. Yung black sugar.
Naalala nyo yung itsura nung reagent bottle sa RTR na parang merong noodle sa taas na color black. Color black yung liquid doon, right? Because of charcoal. Sige ako magtuturo sa inyo ng background sa top dito. Para pag-win nyo yan. Okay, going back. If you have this thing called UNOPET method for cell counting, particularly for platelets and WBCs, your dilution here is always constant.
Unipet.
Hindi mo siya pwedeng palitan. Unlike with a red cell pipette or with a white cell pipette, the dilution in UNOPET containing ammonium oxalate will always be 100. So after computing for the cell counts, using this formula, remember, your value is equivalent or expressed per microliter of blood, whatever the number is. In cell counting, you need to convert your answers to your SI unit. Kung ano man yung sagot nyo rito for platelet count, simply multiply this by 0.001. And your final answer in platelet count is expressed as times 10 to the 9 per liter. So the final platelet count should be expressed as this. So directly, you count platelets using a hemocytometer, using a diluting fluid under the microscope, similar with RBC and WBC counting. Okay? Pero today, ang gagawin natin is indirect platelet counts. Pag sinabi natin indirect platelet count, that is the same as estimating the number of your platelets in your blood. And when you say estimate, are you certain about it? Hindi. Sa Tagalog, kung sinabi natin estimate, tinatansya nyo lang. Tama? Tansya ko dyan, sir, normal. Tansya ko dyan, mataas or mababa. It's because in indirect platelet counting, what you need to do before you can count platelets is to prepare a blood smear. And I'm sure lahat kayo nakagawa na and nakakita na ng smear under the microscope, right? You just call it an estimate because the number of platelets on your smear depends on the distribution of cells on that specimen. Mamaya, you will further realize that or appreciate that. I only ask you, or we ask you to have one EDTA lang sana. Kung dinalawan nyo, okay lang naman. But, sana sa isang pasyente lang yan, ha? Later, you'll appreciate that. On that one EDTA tube, all of you, each member of the group, will prepare his or her own smear. And I'm sure, after you have counted platelets, magkakaiba kayo ng resulta. Magkakalayo or magkakalapit, pero definitely, magkakaiba kayo ng numbers. Yung iba mataas, yung iba mababa, because it all depends on the distribution of cells on your blood smear. Imagine, if your smear is thick, makapal yung smear nyo, what will you expect to your cell count? Mataas. Makapal ang smear, maraming blood, maraming cells, making your count high, right? Pag manipis ang smear nyo, most likely, your platelet count is low. Tama? So from that single EDTA tube, later, compare your cell counts within your group mates. And I'm sure, magkakaiba kayo ng bilang. That's why indirect platelet counting is just more of an estimate of counting the platelets. And laboratory-wise, if you'll ask me, sir, ginagawa pa ba natin yung indirect platelet count sa lab? Answer is yes. Ginagawa pa rin yan. See, let me give you a situation. Let's say, you have this EDTA blood, nag-CBC ka with platelet counting, and the results happen to have thrombocytopenia. Mababa ang platelet count. What we do in the lab is, we test it again using the same machine. No worries, hindi kayo i-charge doon as medtech, ha? Hindi kayo magbabayad doon. Okay? You test it again. Mababa pa rin, sir. What should I do next? You check the smear. Smears, remember, will give you a picture of the true condition of your blood. You check your platelets on your smears because sometimes your machines will not identify errors in platelet counting. For example, your platelets happen to be, this is the normal platelet, and your platelets happen to be like this. They're giant. How do we call them? The reticulated one. Tama? The stress platelets. If my platelets are giant, larger than the usual size, obviously, they will not be counted as platelets. You get it? Paano natin sir makikita o malalaman yan? Check your blood smear. You follow? What if I have this? This is a neutrophil, for example, and my platelets are on the wall of that neutrophil. How do you call that again? Naalala ba yan? A problem in your blood smear. What is that phenomenon? When platelets adhere on the wall of the neutrophil. You call it platelet satellitism. Naaalala pa? If there's satellitism, what will you expect to your platelet counts? Mababa. Your machines will not tell you that there is satellitism. Only you can check it if you will examine a smear. So laboratory-wise, point is, if there are problems with your platelet count from a machine, especially pag mababa siya, the next thing we do is we check our smears. And on your smears, you can then count your platelets by simply counting 10 OIO fields. Ganun lang po kabilis. Ganun lang po kasimple later. So later, you have 2 microscopes per table, right? Meron pa lahat dalawa. So mamaya, isa-isa kayong magbabasa ng blood smear nyo. You make your own smear, you read your own smear. Dalawa lang yan kasi you just simply need to count 10 OIO fields. Sometimes, in an OIO field, maraming platelet. Sometimes, in an OIO field, konti or wala yung platelets, so be it. Later, we'll get into the technicals, okay? But all you need to do later is just simply count 10 OI of fields. And after counting 10 fields, get the total of all the platelets you have counted, get the average, and just simply multiply it by 20,000. So for example, I counted 10 fields. Okay, wala kayong calculate. Nasagot nyo to. I counted 10 fields. The total number of platelets I was able to count was 100. What's my average? I counted 100 platelets. What's my average?
10.
Do you agree it's 10? Do you agree it's 10? Who agrees that it's 10? The average is 10. How about the others? Sige, Iha, ikaw, malapit ka sa akin. Do you agree it's 10? Why not? Look at my question. What's my question?
Average.
What's my average then? Kahit yung grade 4 ko na pamangkin, kahit nakapigit siya, kaya na isang buti. Kahit wala kayong calculate. How many oil fields are you going to count?
10.
What's my total number of cells?
100.
So what's my average?
10.
Nakuha ba? Baka itanong nyo pa paano naging 10. Nakakaniya naman sa isang grade 2 student. You get it? You get the average, and I'll multiply it to 20,000. So what is my final platelet count?
100.
What's my final platelet count? What's my final platelet count? Even without the calculator, you can solve that. Ha? Laksa mo. Ilan? 200? Paano naging 200?
Multiply din.
Then, narinig po, 200. Ilan?
Multiply sa 20,000.
Ilan? Anong 1,000? Buuin mo. 200,000. Tama? 10 times 20,000 is 200,000. So you express that 200,000 platelets per microliter of blood. If I will convert it to SI unit, what is my conversion factor again? I multiply it by 0.001. So my final platelet count on that example is 200 times 10 to the 9 per liter. So my platelet estimate is equivalent to this. You get it? Later, individually, you will prepare your smear, you will count 10 OIO fields, and you will compute for your platelet count as this. And since the value here is not accurate because of the distribution of cells, since it's not accurate, for every number, there is an equivalent estimate. Okay, you follow me? If your platelet count after computing it is around 200 to 400,000, instead of writing these numbers sa lab result nyo, instead ito, ang ilalagay nyo is the estimate.
Normal.
You estimate it as normal. This is what should appear on your results sa totoong buhay ko sa labas, ha? If your value is anywhere between 150 to 199,000, you
Hello?
estimate this as
Low.
low normal. Any values between 100 to 149,000, it is slightly decreased or slightly low. Values from 50 to 99,000, it is moderately decreased. And from 0 to 49,000, you then estimate it as markedly decreased. So, ang batayan ng normal natin on your estimate is this. 200 to 400,000. Then, pababa ng pababa, low normal, slightly decreased, moderately, and markedly decreased. Any values from 401 to 599,000, it is slightly increased. From 600 to 800,000, it is moderately increased. And beyond 800,000, you estimate that as markedly increased. So later, after you have counted platelets and after you have computed for your platelet count, I will then require you to have these estimates. Hindi pwedeng ito lang. But just to be clear, you only use these estimates here in indirect platelet counting. If you're with direct, if you're with an automated machine, wala tayong estimate. It's only applicable with indirect counts. Is that clear? Okay, konting review lang natin. Let's go with blood smears. What are the two specimens that you can use in preparing a smear? What are the two specimens? Yes. EDTA blood, not EDTA lang ha. EDTA blood and, what's the other one? You go with peripheral blood, the one directly from your finger. Tama? If you will prepare a smear, you need to consider the amount of blood that you will use. And in preparing a smear, do you still recall this mnemonic here? Naalala pa yan? P is pressure, A is angle, S is the speed, and the other one is the specimen. Tama? Those four factors will then greatly affect the quality of your smear, particularly the last one. Gano'n ba karaming blood dapat ang nilalagay lang sa slide? If I have the slide here, how much blood should be added?
Pressure.
2 to 3 millimeters. Ganun lang ka-konti. And as you prepare the smear, how should a good smear look like? How should a good smear look like? May pagka-tongue shape, may pagka-bullet shape, or whatsoever. But the most important thing is, on your smears, there should be transition of colors from thick going into the thin area. Later, dahil hindi magaling microscope sa ating may camera, mamaya, iikot kami ng Joyce per table, and we will demonstrate with you, we'll show you on which part of the smear you are allowed to count platelets. Just like with differential count, dito kayo nagbibilang. Not on the thinnest area, not on the thick area, but more on the transition. You call it the heel. Because on this area, this is where cells are equally distributed. If you are on the thick portion of your smear, cells are overlapping, making your counts increase. If you're on the thinnest area, cells are degenerated, most likely, sira-sira na sila, cells may then be decreased. So you count on this transition because this is where your cells are equally distributed. Pag nag-check ako ng smear, sige, I'm gonna be that straight with smears today. Dahil sabi ko nga, ang goal natin is magbilang ng platelets, right? Pero pag nag-smear, ang unang tinitingnan namin is that color. Kung merong isa, dalawang konting butas, maliit na butas, sige, palalampasin namin. Pero what's important is this transition. You get it? So after you have prepared the smear, what do you do next? You stain it. Before staining it, we fix it first with, what's your fixative? Bago mo stain, saan mo na binababad yan? Nakalimutan na? to allow your cells to be affixed on your slide, you fix it with methanol. After it has dried up, you go with your stain. You go with your right stain. Tandaan, staining of smears is always pH dependent. Kaya ang mga smear nyo, you call it Romanowski stains, is always a combination of an alkaline and an acidic stain. You have methylene blue, you have eosin, it's more of a combination. Kaya tinawag mo siya eosinophils because it binds greatly with eosin. You call it basophils because it binds more with your alkaline stain. So why do you call it neutrophil? It's neutral. Tama? So after you have prepared the smear, you go with the stain, you fix it with methanol, you stain it with dry stain, and you make use of buffers. After which, once it has dried up, you are good to go with microscopic analysis. And mamaya, as we proceed, make sure that you will use the microscope correctly. Yan, yung mga naging student ko sa inyo, I'm very particular with that. Ito po, dapat lahat kayo magaling gumamit ng microscope. Medtech tayo, so dapat magaling tayo. Hindi lang basta marunong, magaling tayong gumamit ng microscope. Can we expect that from you? You are aspiring interns, so by this time around, you should know better than the first year students in using the microscope. Always follow parofocal focusing. In blood smears, you start with LPO. Once it's good with that, you go with HPO. Once it's good with that, that's the only time you go with OIO. Paano ang tamang paglalagay ng oil? Once it's good with HPO, as you transition to OIO, in between, you add the oil. Tama? Under LPO, check the distribution of your cells. Under HPO, look for this area. Hanapin nyo na tong cells na distributed well. And under OIO, that is where you will count the platelets. And sometimes, just by looking at your smear, not under the microscope, you just look at the smear. Sometimes, it will tell you that there are problems with your patient's specimen. For example, if your smears appear darker blue, it may indicate agglutination, or it may indicate presence of too much proteins. Baka meron kang multiple myeloma. If in your smear, merong buo-buo, merong grains, baka meron kang cold agglutinates. Pag maraming butas, yung mga smear natin, baka yung lipids mo is mataas. So sometimes, macroscopically, you will then have clues on what could be the possible problems of your patients in the blood. Okay, let's make this simple. You have your specimens with you. You place a cover later on your table. You prepare a smear, isang smear lang, individually. Prepare your own smear. After that, you stain it, and you examine it under the microscope. Ilang fields lang ang bibilangin natin?
10.
10 lang. After counting 10 OIU fields, as a group, you write your results in a one full sheet yellow paper. Compute for your platelet count together with its equivalent estimate. Maliwanag? Again, iikot kami sa table ninyo and we will demonstrate. Wala magbibilang ng platelet hanggat hindi kami nakakapag-demonstrate sa inyo. Maliwanag? Iikot kami sa table ninyo and we will show you how platelets look like. Because it's a bit tricky. Hindi porket maliit, platelets agad. If you want to know if it's a platelet or not, you need to move the fine adjustment from time to time and you need to look for granules. If it's just a purple dot without any granules inside, more or less it's just a stained precipitate. Okay? And do not forget, pag tapos na kayong lahat sa grupo niyo, huwag niyo munang itatapon ang slide. randomly, iikot kami ni ma'am and magbabasa kami ng isang slide sa microscope. So we can check your counts. Galing lang yan sa isang pasyente, tama? Kung galing lang yan sa isang pasyente, more or less, magkakalapit lang sana ang counts ninyo. But as I've said, your values will then depend on the distribution of cells. If you are that student who will count platelets here, I will expect your count to be high. If you will count here, most likely, kung ano naman, mawawala kayo sa akin ngayon, most likely, it would be normal. If you will count here, most likely your count is low. So randomly, iikot kami. Pag tapos na lahat ng members, wala magtatapos ng slide ha. Iikot kami, and then kukuha kami ng isang slide to be read under the microscope. Okay? Do you have questions? Clarifications?
Isang slide lang yung gagamitin.
Synchronize natin yung slide natin.
Babasahin natin.
It's 8:10.
Gagawa tayo kasi isa.
By 8:30, you should start staining and viewing your smears under the microscope. Sige, place them over on your table.
Bibilangin.